Hey friends!
Hey y'all!
It's Britt
and T,
and we're back with another video.
Yes, another video.
Yes.
So, this video is going to be a video that kind of takes us back down the memory lane a little bit, just to trigger some of the things that we did as kids. So, I wanted to name this 10 things that you should not have done as kids. Because, you know, kids always do things they have no business doing, or they do things that they don't realize are dangerous. And I just thought it would be fun to kind of talk about some experiences we had doing things we had no business doing.
Definitely. So do you want to do 10 together? Like you do 5, I do 5? Or
that's perfect.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Alright, so we can just feed off.
Okay.
Whatever.
So, the first thing that I'm going to say is that one thing that wasn't supposed to do was have people in the house when my mom was not home. I did that all the time.
Oh, you're bold.
Like when me and my older sister are 3 years apart, so like she had like her friends come over. So then like when we were like young, we used to have people in the house, supposed to have nobody in the house. Right. Like, and as a kid, you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna just have people over, really. But in the event that an actual accident happened and like somebody's kid gets hurt, and, you know, kids be doing stuff they don't have no business doing anyway. So it's like if somebody's kid get hurt, you gotta think about like how you explain it to your parents when nobody was supposed to be in the house in the first place. Right. So that was one thing that we did. We had no business doing.
See, my parents were too strict, and I was too scared. So I never ever took that risk, like, at all.
For us, it was super risky because we ain't had no house phone. We had no way to communicate. So we, and my mom didn't have a car, so my mom had a bus. So we kind of tracked it in a way where, like, all right, we know she got to take the bus home. We know that she gets off at this time. So we could probably, like, have people over at this time and then send people home. But I remember there was one time when I was I think it was in middle school, a family friend that lived in the neighborhood had came over, and mom worked nights, so she came home in the morning, and he was sleeping in her bed. And
why would y'all ever risk that?
We didn't know. We went in our rooms with the sleep, me and my sisters, and we kind of forgot that he was there. So I guess he got sleepy and went in my mom's bed and went to sleep. And it was so funny because my mom, she came in the house, she looked at her bed, she was about to take off all her clothes, and she was like, hold on. She's like, I think my kids are in their room. So she went in my room, I was there. She went in my other sister's room, and both of them were in there. And then she's like, wait a minute, who's in my bed? So she pulled the covers back and she's like, oh my gosh, that is Byron. So she wasn't mad though. She was actually, and it's funny because his mom had no idea he wasn't home. So she called his mom. She was like, no, Byron's in his room. And my mom was like, no, he's right here. She's like, I'll drive. She's like, I'll walk him home. And she was like, okay. It was just weird. And my mom wasn't mad. She was just like, in that particular case, it was more like I'm glad that he felt comfortable enough to stay and not walk home in the dark by himself. Because I guess maybe it was like he didn't want to walk home in the dark. But it was like, me and my sisters had no idea he was there. Now, had that been maybe a little different situation, we probably would have been in serious trouble. But I think it was more like a safety thing. Hence why you're not supposed to have people in the house.
Right. But that's bold because your mom could have took her clothes off, hopped in the bed, not paying attention. I know if I'm tired from work, I'm going to just pass out. Exactly. I'm not going to do anything. Imagine her waking up with a kid in her bed. Like, that's just
that could have been so many different ways. So,
definitely. Okay, so one thing that pops up on my head, in my head is me and my brothers used to do random weird, I guess it's weird, but random kid shit. We used to play Explorer. So we used to go to like the woods and stuff and pretend like our imagination was crazy. We were so little that we were never supposed to leave past out front, like really. But the woods was like all the way on the other side of the neighborhood, and it was across the street. It was like this building that, like a abandoned building, basically next to our neighborhood, like literally. But we didn't play in the building, but just they had just woods. It was so random that like it's an apartment complex, a little random strip of trees. So to us, it's the woods, you know. Because we didn't know about country life where we were at, but that was baby. So like that was our woods, like, because it was like, you know, woody area. unsafe when I look back on it, because we were literally playing around and pretending to be like warrior people type situation and walking around with like long sticks and stuff. Yeah, so thinking back on it, like when I was telling people the story, I'm like, yo, that's not safe, because our parents didn't know where we were at. We actually got in trouble one because my stepfather had, well, yeah, like, so my stepfather, he had drove, he was coming home because the gas station was like right there. And so he happened to come in that way. He never comes in that way. He always goes in the front of the neighborhood. But our luck, he's riding in the back of the neighborhood to come home. And he just sees us outside. He's like,
what are y'all doing?
What are y'all doing? Like, why are y'all out here? We just sitting there, you know, woods. He made us walk home too. Walk home to get ass whipping, you know?
Yeah.
That's tough. But yeah, so that's something. We did that all the time though.
Yeah, that reminds me, like when we were younger, we were never supposed to go to the creek. Never supposed to be playing in the creek. There was like, my dad's girlfriend had lived in this single family house. There was a lot of trees. And there was a creek, and the creek was the shortcut to get to the park. So we would usually cut through the creek to get to the park. You know, skip over rocks and stuff and whatever. But they kept telling us, don't do that. Take the long way, not the shortcut, because you know it's woods. Anybody can be in there. We never listened. And one day, my little stepbrother skipping rocks. Yeah, so one day my little stepbrother was skipping the rocks in the creek, and we just said, just step over the rocks, stop playing. And we were like 7 or 8. Like, stop playing. He just kept playing, and sure enough, he slipped and fell on a rock, and he hurt himself. Then we had to go back home, and at that time, like, they made us go outside from like 10 o'clock in the morning until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, you were allowed to come home to get some water, maybe. Like,
I know.
They used to make you drink out the hose, water, or just to eat your lunch and then go back outside to the park. Like, I don't know why we had to stay outside all freaking day.
Y'all got lunch. We didn't get lunch in the summer.
Yeah, we got noodles. We had bowls of noodles, but it was terrible because we ended up having to go back home and then explain how he slipped and fell on rocks that were inside the creek when we were not supposed to be walking through the creek. We were supposed to be walking through the long way, and the long way was so long, and it was summertime, and it was hot, like early in the morning, hot. It was just like that walk, it just blew us. So we was just like, nah, we're not taking that long walk. We're gonna cut through the creek. And even after he fell, we never kept taking the long way. We kept taking the shortcut. We just didn't care.
Right, because it didn't happen to you.
It didn't happen to me. I mean, we just, at that time, we just got yelled at. I think he just got yelled at. He didn't get spanking. I think spankings came from other things that he was doing, but that was one of them. Cutting through the woods or creeks. That is a terrible thing to do when you're a kid, because those kids go missing in the woods. That's not safe at all. So that is one of mine.
Well, so but bounce off the woods, since we talking about woods back to back. Yeah. One more thing that reminds me about the woods thing. So that's 3. So for number 4, we used to sneak. So in the neighborhood, we had stores behind the neighborhood, 7-Eleven, the carry out, all that stuff. So we didn't even take the long way either to go to the stores, because 7-Eleven was on this side, and our apartment complex. Our apartment in the neighborhood was on this side. 7-Eleven was on this side. My parents wanted us to walk all the way down and then around back up.
Because while we walking and doing stuff, I feel like they should be driving us. Yeah.
Well, yeah. No, I think at that time my parents went home. They wouldn't drive anyway if they was home. So yeah, you're right. So we used to sneak behind the building, to go to the store, like, cause there was a little bit of woods back there too. Like, it's not. I guess it's countryside. That's literally the name of the apartment. So I guess they made it that way, with the little bit of trees and stuff. So, but it was like the building, trees. You're literally squeezing through like a place, and so people are walking by and stuff like that. Like grown up people, crackheads, stuff like that. So like I get why we're not supposed to go back there. We can also get hurt. It was like by the street. Somebody can snatch us. But why are we walking all the way down there to walk back up when we gotta go 7-Eleven? Now we had to go to carry out down the street on the other side. We'll walk down that way because there's no difference. But I'm not walking a long way to run to 7-Eleven. But the thing is, our apartment was here, so they could look on the balcony, and my stepfather used to see that. He'll see us coming from beside the building, and then he'll be like, Didn't I tell you? You're not supposed to walk from the store that way, and can't lie if you see us walking out the side of the building.
Right.
But I did have a friend and her family that lived right in an apartment right at that shortcut. Literally, they opened the back door. They're looking at all the woods and stuff. So I would say sometimes I went over there to say hi, but he literally would see me. So that anyway. So that's number 4.
Yeah. Another thing is cooking stuff in the house that you had no business cooking.
Oh yeah, that's
Because I remember one time my sister cooked some fried chicken, and it was like one of her first times cooking it, and my mom was at work, and like she burned the chicken. And it was like, so not only did you waste food, like, but then like she could have started like a grease fire. So I was like, and I think she was only like 14. So like, yeah, we was cooking. But we shouldn't have been cooking. Like I can understand heating stuff up in the microwave, making like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But like frying chicken, nah, you shouldn't. I mean, like I know
that when nobody's home.
There's some little chefs, but like I think when we were growing up, it was just like they were like totally different. So like, Shawty was frying chicken and burnt the chicken. The chicken that joint was black. So yeah, I think cooking in the house by yourself without adults is probably not a good idea. You should probably at least have some sort of adult supervision.
Right. Yeah. I agree. So that's 5. So we got 5 more.
Yeah. So
number 6 is
jumping over fences. Especially if you're running. Like jumping fences is I don't even know if they have fences anymore, but like those metal fences.
But
like because I remember we used to live in neighborhoods and sometimes there was like a fence you had to get into like a park or something. Jumping over fences, bad idea. I've had some really messed up knees with that. Wooden fences, you get splinters. Another thing, staying outside after the streetlights go out. Why would you do that?
Right.
Like, don't do that. That's not safe. It's barely safe for adults. So don't do that. Don't stay outside after the streetlights are on.
So that's 7, right?
Yeah, 7. So then another one was
actually interacting with strangers. I know it's like the obvious thing, don't talk to strangers. Yeah. But I've had times where I've had interactions with strangers. I was obviously paranoid still, I was a paranoid kid, but still I gave them opportunity by even talking to them.
Right, yeah.
Like,
especially because you don't really know the person.
So that's 8.
One is 8. And then another one, trying to swim after dark is a bad idea as well. You can really get hurt. Like,
sneaking into the pool when you're not supposed to.
Because I know that's another jumping that fence to get into the pool.
Yeah, I want to say the same thing when you said
to swim in the dark, bad idea,
Because sometimes they run the little thing on, and actually my mom's friend passed away that way when she was a kid because they used to sneak in the pool. But the thing was still on to clean the pool or something, whatever suctions the pool, and he obviously drowned. So dangerous.
That's very dangerous. Definitely. I know that's things that like kids try to do, and it's not a good idea.
So that's 9. So we have one more thing. That was 9, right?
That was 9.
I hope we got it right. That's 9. We got one more thing.
What was another one?
Trying to smoke paper. It's like I don't know if that's something you did, but.
Trying to snort pixie sticks.
Oh, you snort pixie
sticks? Yeah, we
used
to snort pixie sticks. That was a terrible
Wow.
Man, you be burned. Oh, man. I can feel the burn now in my nose.
So basically pretending to, like, imitate adult activities.
Right. I don't know what adult they saw snorting, whatever. But don't do that. At all. Yeah, you mess up your nasal cavity.
I never did that shit, but I've been around kids that did this shit. Actually, my little brother did that shit.
I think I tried it once. And then it burned, and I was like, never again.
I could just imagine. But yeah, so that's 10 dumbass things. I know what we're gonna title this: 10 dumbass things.
10 things you should not have done as a kid that you probably did. Don't do it.
Right,
kids.
But technically, kids won't see this. We're gonna post no, so we can get comments. We can say yes, and kids.
Oh, so then let us know if you did any of these crazy things. Right. Let us know what you did that you had no business doing, because I know there's a lot more than 10 things that a lot of us was doing.
Exactly. Share in the comments down below, guys. Yes. And we thank you guys for watching and tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
Thanks for your comments. We love them. Thank you.
Yes. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to both of our channels. Yeah. I am just Britt.
I am Shy Leo.
So, yes. We out, y'all. Have a great one.
Out here. Bye.